Exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I missed my scotch.
Eric met with me tonight, and I drove him to drink.
Drove me to drink again.
It'll happen.
You bozos gonna jump in Zencaster or what?
I'm busy doing other stuff. Chill. Just chill. Calm down a little bit. Are you going to remember to hit record tonight? If you want to play that game?
Hit it every night. What are you talking about? Can't prove anything.
It's true. The evidence has been erased.
We're not going to have as many live viewers tonight, I don't think.
Why is that?
Because a lot of our viewers are in Austin.
Oh, this is the
We'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
What the what?
Wait, what? You can create folders now?
And what? What are you talking about?
In Discord. How do I have a folder in Discord? I'm very confused.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Oh, they have categories. Create category. Look at that.
No, I have folders, man. I have a folder that was closed. I actually like it now. I'm putting everything in there. Everything I don't do all the time. Oh, you go in there too. This is awesome, actually. I don't know how. I don't know how.
What talking about.
I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how I created it either. But I have a folder. Here, I'll share. I'll share my screen. Yeah, let me move this over. We're live streaming, right? I like that. Let me share my screen real fast.
Except it won't go on the stream. Unless
it won't go. It won't go on the stream because he doesn't have it. I don't care if it does. Look, I have this folder now that I can expand right here. I just dragged all these things in there. I don't know how I created it.
Where at? What are you looking at?
Right here. You see my Discord right here?
Yeah, that's the server list.
It's very blurry. It's very blurry, but yeah.
Is it very blurry? So look, I have this one now that when I click on it, it expands. And all these channels I don't participate in a lot.
Yeah,
in this folder.
You just drag one channel over another and it creates a group.
What? What? How have I not known about this?
That doesn't work for me, so I think he's lying.
Oh. Yeah, as a matter of fact, he's right, because if I drag it, you see, it does. Oh, so I can have a folder of all PHP and all of them?
That did not work for me.
Do you have an update?
I don't know. Maybe.
Probably have an update.
I don't update. It goes against my...
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love love me. Shouts out to PHP the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey.
All right. Do we got anything to talk about before we get started? Can we just dive into this?
Start Zencaster. Yeah, that's it.
Whatever. What are you talking about? Zencaster's already started. I need this. Like, I really have very little metal in my life, apparently. Can't get this thing to stick anywhere.
If only you had stickers. Oh, wait, you got about 1 billion of them.
That's true, I do. All right, let's get started. We ready to get started?
Yes.
All right. You're listening to episode 258 of the world-renowned PHPUgly. I'm your host, Eric Van Johnson, and with me, as always, John Congdon.
The owner of lots and lots of stickers, and now magnets, and who knows what else.
A magazine.
Oh, yeah.
And Tom Rideout.
Hello.
Hello.
So
everybody
many
doing?
stickers in my life.
Yeah, we made a little bit of a mistake with that. Actually, I did. I knew there was a reason I was waiting to order stickers, and then I couldn't wait anymore, and I ordered PHP Architect stickers. And I mean, I'm not unhappy because I mean we got some cool ones. I got this one, that's looking good. I went with I got a love for the new like really small ones, so I got some of those. But we also got our boxes from Oscar this week, which also contain about 1.5 million stickers.
So many stickers.
So if you ever run into one of us anywhere, Starbucks, wherever, ask us for a sticker because we have them. We have like a lot of them. I'm gonna throw some in my truck, so I always have them with me. Very excited. I'm loving this. I'm loving it. I'm very happy. How was your week, Thomas?
Oh my goodness. Short. Got Columbus Day off. Apparently the whole Indigenous Peoples Day thing is like the same day, but not federally recognized. So it's still Columbus Day that I got off, but I celebrated Indigenous Peoples Day by getting a haircut and playing video games and cleaning my house. And man, I haven't done this where I had a day off like without anyone else at the house in it must be 10 years.
Oh yeah, especially when you have kids.
And
yeah. Those are pants days for me.
Yeah, it was so nice. It was productive and relaxing and just fantastic.
Productive and relaxing sound like they're at the opposite ends of the spectrum there.
Well, it was like I got to clean the house slowly while watching crappy reality TV. It was like this just sort of at my own pace process. It was extremely nice. And then doing lots of refactors, really loving the tests I've been writing for the last few months because I did a large refactor that did not include any tests. It just used the tests that were created for the original objects. So when it worked, and it was extremely nice.
That's satisfying, isn't it? When
It really is just getting everything to pass again after a big refactor. So that was one refactor last week, and then doing another big refactor right now, and it's keeping me very busy.
How's your probation going?
Mm-hmm.
Weren't you on probation? Or did we not talk about that?
No,
we
we
talked
didn't.
about. Did we not talk about that?
No, that was off air.
How's work going though? I mean, just in general.
It's going very well. Been very productive, and
Damn it, John! You're making me have to edit things now.
yeah, it's been very good.
Cool. How about you, John?
Oh, nothing special. We have the magazine. We're making lots of good progress on that. It's stressful as can be, but I'm going to be excited once this first issue is out. I think that's the mark. Like, let's just get something out.
Yeah.
But we've been having great conversations with authors and book writers. Just there's so much excitement of things going on.
So this is where I'm bad for this job, to be completely honest with you, because I am horrible at holding on to secrets. Like I am not a secret guy, and like I'm so excited about some of the conversations and some of the people we're having conversations about, and some of the things that we're working on. I'm just not.
We got to stop him right there. Got to stop. He's already ready to just start spitting names out.
There's nothing to spit out. I don't know what he's talking about.
What are you talking about? Oh, really? Do I need to remind you?
There's nothing to talk about.
Awesome stuff happening. Awesome stuff. And on top of that, I'm drinking scotch again. I got my scotch out. I'm very happy.
And he started with beer with me. Nice. Longhorn PHP is happening right now. Right. You guys been following that at all?
Really want to talk about something more important than that, but sure, let's talk about that super spreader, the PHP, what I'm calling the PHP super spreader. No,
Jesus.
Yeah.
I seriously hope not.
No, it'll be
gonna
fine.
Get us sued.
These guys are good. These guys are good guys. I'm sure they're taking all the precautions. I do have that. You know, I'm hearing from people there. Ralph in our Discord is there, and he pinged me on Discord. And that's PHPUgly. Wait, what is it?
Discord.phpugly.com.
If you care to join us in the conversation. But yeah, he's there and asking if we showed up. And it's like, I honestly been so busy with the magazine, I totally forgot about it. I did. I'm not even joking. I completely forgotten about it.
That would have been very, very interesting because we both really wanted to go, even if COVID wasn't a thing. I don't know how we could right now.
Yeah, I agree. I if I had gone,
can't you just buy something that's in Austin?
What?
Just buy something that's in Austin, so you like have to go. It's just part of the workload now. There's some PHP development firm in Austin that's just like, yeah, we're buying them now.
It would be part of the workload. PHP architects should have a presence there. I mean, we don't need help justifying going. I just personally, I would have been completely stressed out. I would not have been fun to
as opposed to right now, which is relaxed and covered in thousands of stickers.
He's got a point. He does have a point.
So, but yeah, PHP right. Longhorn. Wait, what's it called? Longhorn PHP? What? PHP Longhorn? PHP.
Yeah.
Longhorn PHP? Yeah. It's happening.
Yeah, you were saying that you don't think we're going to have a lot of live listeners today because of this, but that seems to me like a professional conference that, you know, our audiences don't really overlap.
Either that or maybe we're on the big Jumbotron right now. If we're on the Jumbotron, Longhorn! No, I don't know.
Your camera's a little more to your left.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, how was your week? You had something more important to talk about.
No, we've moved on. I wanted to get y'all's opinion of the MLB rule change and what you guys, because clearly I'm sure you guys are following this. Big deal. It's a big deal.
You sure about that? Because I have no clue what you're talking about.
How is that even possible? How could you not know what I'm talking about?
How can you change the rules of a game that's been around for 1 billion years?
Is this the one that the Padres are allowed to win now or something like that?
It's a matter of a foot. It's all about 1 foot. That's all they're talking about.
People with 3 feet can play now?
They're talking about it was going to be funnier because I was going to lead into the show with it because I know you guys hate sports, but Major League Baseball is actually testing the concept of moving the pitcher mound back 1 foot to make the game more exciting, to get hitters more time to see the ball, because you got to understand the evolution of the game and the players and the technology behind the game. Pitchers have gotten so good with how hard they're throwing and just the mathematics that go into pitching now, that that the pitchers are starting to dominate the game. And so they're talking about moving them back 1 foot so that basically a pitcher doesn't need to change their mechanic. They can still pitch the same, but it gives the hitter like another fraction of a second to see the ball. It was going to be a much funnier conversation when you guys had no idea what I was talking about, and I wanted to continue the conversation, but we've already started the show, so it's like
we still have no clue what you're talking about. It's
I'll put it in the show notes just to have it there. If anybody's if I have any other baseball fans, because we are in the midst of October here, and we got the playoffs happening. So if any other baseball fans out there, I'll send you this article.
I thought that's when baseball started, not playoffs.
What is wrong with you? I mean, seriously, what is wrong with you? That's like,
isn't it spring training right now?
I have Canadian friends that were all talking about Thanksgiving. I'm like, what is happening right now? What is wrong with you guys?
You have Canadian employees.
I have friends.
And you have Canadian employees. He's correct. Yeah. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.
I consider a friend. What? Okay, we're moving on.
Thank God.
What have we talked about? What have we done? Have we done anything productive? See, now I don't know what I can talk about anymore. I'm so stressed out. I have so much PHP knowledge in my head, but like so many things I can't talk about anymore. You guys are killing me.
Oh, that's what we're here for. It's fun.
Well, there's the Swoole drama.
Oh, and we both have that on our list. I'm going to delete mine.
Oh, I don't even have Trello up. All right, let's talk about it then. Let's talk about the Swoole drama. Go ahead.
It's not drama anymore.
Well, is it not anymore? I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that this started with someone adding the Swoole dashboard as like a self-installing package to Swoole. Mm-hmm. So if you hit a certain endpoint, it would fetch the dashboard from an external URL and download it and then install it on the server. And obviously people didn't like the idea of like remote code just being arbitrarily executed on their machines that were running production stuff.
Why would anybody have a problem with that? That makes no sense.
So one of the main devs complained and was removed from the project. So he just forked his own version called OpenSwoole. And then that was when the community sort of got a hold of it and started yelling about it.
And it seemed like at first the maintainer of Swoole wasn't going to budge, but it wasn't long after this seemed to be out there on Twitter and everybody talking about it, that it was a commit was pushed that removed that exact piece of code, which is what that person wanted from the beginning. Like, you shouldn't be doing it this way.
Right.
And that's one of the beauties of open source, is people being able to see what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, and it was an ugly chunk of code. I mean, it was running execs and system level privileges and establishing a port that this dashboard thing would run on. It was if it was downloading the wrong thing, it very easily was just installing viruses and whatever.
And
But,
that
I mean-
was the concern. So to be clear, I mean, the Swoole team, they weren't trying to do anything malicious, but
No.
they were definitely creating a vector of compromise with their implementation. And for anybody listening, wondering what Swoole is, because a lot of people might not know what Swoole is, it's a library. It's actually an extension. It's not even a library, right? It's an extension, right, John?
Yeah, it's a
We-
PHP
we
extension.
clicked them. Yeah, it's
Yep.
a PHP extension that allows you to write asynchronous PHP. So it's very scalable. It's very fast. It's kind of like, think React PHP, think Octane for Laravel, same concepts. They're very involved with they were very involved with the discussions around fiber going into PHP and that implementation and what it meant to projects like Swoole. So this is not a new project. These are not hacks that just like somebody threw up on the internet. This is a very well established project. They're I consider them to be pretty good, tenants of the PHP community. They stay involved with internals. So yeah, we're not implying that they were trying to do anything malicious or bad. Just they had a poor implementation and they were called out for it.
Yeah. Now, speaking
can't-
of that
You can't piss too many
asynchronous,
people off, Thomas. And for the record, Thomas does not work for PHP Architect. So we're all clear on that.
And I was going to say, if you really want to learn more, get the October 2020 issue. You can read of PHP
We
Architect.
actually did a podcast interview with them too, didn't we? Where is that
we
at?
did.
Come
I
on,
think that's
you
the
look
same
that up.
month.
Yeah,
Not
it would
that
have
good.
been the same month. Yeah, you're right. It would have been the same month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, there's
I'm not
a
that fast with research. We need
there's
a
a new
research team.
player in the asynchronous PHP game.
Oh, right. Well, wait. I don't know if you're talking about the same thing I'm talking about. What are you talking about?
We discussed the announcement of it a couple episodes ago. Revolt.
Right. So it's not a new player. It's two old players teaming up.
Right. So these are previous developers from AMP and React PHP. And it's actually four developers from those teams released Revolt Event Loop, which is a cooperative multitasking scheduler for PHP. And it looks very exciting. This is a fibers-based event loop.
Hold on. Time out. I don't know what's going on with my family anymore, but my one kid in particular just really takes a lot of pleasure in talking to me over Discord.
Through YouTube.
While we're showing.
You didn't have to stop
For
the show for
YouTube.
it, though.
No, I did because I'm calling them out. And yes, I want a lemon lime slushy. Give me a lemon lime slushy. If you're listening to the show, that's what I want.
They are claiming some sort of emotional abuse now too.
It's been a week since
That you
we
just you just don't speak to them outside of the podcast.
I'll speak to anybody outside the podcast. I just don't.
You didn't
I
have to
just stay
stop
in my
the
little
show.
room.
All that's
I
got to
always
stay
do
in.
stuff to them.
Please, Father,
staying
we
in the
miss
show.
you.
All right, I'm sorry, Tom. You were talking about PHP related stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is one of the big things that we said was going to be part of the fibers functionality of PHP 8. So when we had originally talked about how fibers was just a framework for creating a thing, but not actually usable by the end users yet, this is one of the large components that's going to be necessary for the fibers-based asynchronous code. So this gives the event loop or the IO loop to PHP developers to actually use for creating asynchronous calls. So there's a bunch of benchmarks and examples, and it's very, very fancy.
And is it production ready now?
I don't know if I would call it production ready. The release,
It says it's rock solid. It literally says that in the first line says it's rock solid. That sounds enterprise ready to me, buddy.
well, there's one branch. There's the main branch with no forks, no tags, and no releases, no issues, and no pull requests.
No issues. Sounds like it's ready.
And the whole thing
There
was
you go.
released 14 hours ago. So
Rock solid.
I probably
Well,
wouldn't throw it
you're
straight
not
into
kidding.
your production system.
14 hours ago. Wow.
Yeah, just the one initial commit with 5 authors.
All right.
You want to hear something
I'm
funny?
impressed.
Are you talking about looking at GitHub repos? And if you're not aware, when you're looking, hey, we got a new follower. Thank you, Emily Johnson, for following us. do appreciate that. Not sure. But
That need for attention is genetic.
if you're working with a project and you're becoming dependent on other packages, if you're not aware of this, but that's one of the things you look for. If you're questioning the stability of a package, you look at it, you see when the last commit was. If it's too soon, then it might not be ready. If there hasn't been a commit in a very long time, it might be abandoned. You look at the issue log, you see how many issues there are. So I still do that, right? I go and I look at repos that I use, and I always get a pleasure out of this because just last week I was hyping up Filament. I was talking about Filament admin and Filament forums, right? And I'm really becoming a fan of one of the project maintainers of Filament, Dan, he's been in their Discord before. I doubt if he's still in there, but Dan Heron is his name, and he's one of the project leads behind the Filament project. Well, another package I use a lot is called the Tall Stack. It's in Laravel. I think I talked about that last week as well. It's Tailwind, Alpine, Livewire, and Linux. It's just a package you can install that just sets all that stuff up for you. I looked at that because I've been spinning up a lot of repos, which actually I have another thing to talk about on that. But I've been spinning up a lot of projects lately, and I'm like, I wonder how current the Tall Stack is staying with patches and stuff. So I pop over there and check it out. That's one of Dan's projects as well. It's like I have people in my circles like that where every time I go to a project, it seems like there's like this developer who's like on all projects now. So I was very excited about that. But I've been spinning up a lot of new projects, a lot of new Laravel projects. John, I know you don't do this a whole lot. Tom, when's the last time you spun up a Laravel project?
4 months ago.
From new, like doing a Laravel new at the command line.
Yeah, 4 months ago.
4 months ago. So I do it fairly frequently because I tinker a lot, and I have my command. I basically just do Laravel new and give it a command. But the last couple of projects I've been doing, I've been implementing like authentication. Like I've kind of known what I want to implement. I'm like, man, I thought there was a switch to implement Jetstream when you did a project new. So I started looking through all the stuff you can pass to a Laravel new to spin it up.
Yeah.
I never even knew that you could actually get it to create a Git repo and create the repo on GitHub for you. All with the Laravel new. So you can do Laravel new, GitHub, give it a name, whatever you want the repo to be called, and then you can even pass it off to an organization. So you can do -- organization, and if you don't want it in your repo, and like if you wanted to, for me, PHP architect, I pass it PHP architect. I'm like, this can't possibly do all this. Like, I haven't given it any GitHub auth keys or anything to do this. No, it did it, no problem at all. It spun it up, created the Git repo locally, and created it on GitHub for
Doesn't
you,
make,
in the
doesn't make it a
organization.
private or public.
You can pass it to make it private, which is what I did.
Okay.
So you
So
make.
it's-
I think it's public by default, and then you can tell it to make it private.
I wonder if it's got to be using your SSH keys, right?
So I only caught this
Uh,
because I
git
was out of
config.
date. It's using the GitHub command line. Which
Yeah, but that comes from your git commit config.
No, I think the command line, all you do, I think all it does is use SSH keys. I don't remember setting anything up when I installed that. I don't know. I think John's right. I think it just uses your SSH keys. But I could be totally off base.
It could be your git config too, I guess.
Oh yeah, because it has to know what your GitHub username is.
Right, but there's no keys in there, so it's maybe a combination of both. Your git config and your SSH key.
Anyways, I thought that was extremely cool, and like it's going to be a time saver for me because it's one of the little annoying things I do whenever I start tinkering on a new project. Is I go to GitHub and create the repo, then create the project, then make it a Git repo locally, do the git init, and now it's all done on the new command. I love that. I think that was great. I just wanted to share.
Thank you, Taylor. That's what we're supposed to say, right?
Must be a new feature that just got added in this week.
I'm sure somebody's gonna tweet at me, Jesus, Eric, that's been there since like Laravel 5.2, you idiot. Like, don't think about it.
If only you had a place where you kept up with news. If there's a place to go for your PHP news.
Is there? I don't know. I don't think there is one.
This week's show sponsored by PHP Architect.
We actually do have a sponsor. Do you know who our sponsor is?
Honey Badger transforms you into a DevOps hero by combining error, uptime, and cron monitoring into a single, easy-to-use platform. Stop wasting your time tailing logs and deploy with Swagger. Visit honeybadger.io today to level up.
Thank you, Honey Badger.
Thanks for charging my credit card this week. I noticed that come through.
Well, because everyone's using Honey Badger now.
We're using it more and more, and I just happened to see it come through on a credit card this week.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you try to buy them?
You seem very bitter, Tom. What's wrong with you?
Nothing. I was looking at green screens, and they're really expensive.
Are you saying you need a green screen?
No, I don't need it.
It's such a lovely background.
It takes preparation to make it look nice.
So you want a green screen so your room can be a mess? Is that what you're saying?
No. I want to change my background to like Eric's office.
My office is getting emptier and emptier. Like we moved boxes in here recently, but yeah, there's not a whole lot in here anymore.
How's that going?
Oh, it's going. It's a process, man. It's I'll be happy when we're done. We did so last week we had our house inspected by the people buying our house. This week we inspected the house we're buying. It was fine. I mean, nothing was revealed. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, the house has been lived in. There are a couple things here and there. Getting
the
antsy
foundation's
about
not like missing.
No. Getting a little antsy about actually wanting to get moving because everybody's got contingencies right now. Like the people buying our house has a contingency that they sell their house, and then we're not going to move forward with our home until our house is sold. And the people we're buying from, they're happy because they're like, hey, yeah, the longer we can stay here, the better. So
they wanted to stay a full year.
Yeah, they wanted
Really?
to stay. Yeah, yeah. Their kid is in school, and they wanted to not a full year, but almost a full year.
Why did
I
they?
was like,
Why
wow,
why sell the house then? It takes like 2 weeks to sell a house now.
because the
'Cause it's the
market
top of
was
the
on
market.
fire. The
Ugh.
market was on fire.
They're
And-
trying to
and
buy at the
that's-
top and
So they were looking
Or
for a
sell at the
sucker
top.
and they found one.
Hey, no, they found me, Tom. They what? Do you, wait, oh, I get it.
So are you gonna techify the house when you move into it? Like, are you gonna put Ethernet jacks in all the rooms and like get the Nest thermostat and all the sweet home automation stuff?
So oddly enough, they already have their house pretty techified. They have 2 Nest controllers. They have a dual controlled zones. So the upstairs has its own Nest, and downstairs has the Nest.
Nice.
They have a security system. The one thing that I kept looking at it, I didn't understand what it was, but the inspector was like, "This is the Wi-Fi to the house." So in their garage, they have like this massive control panel. Like it looks like a fuse box. He's like, "Yeah, that's the Wi-Fi." I'm like, "That's not the What the fuck is that? That's not Wi-Fi." He's like, "No, it's the Wi-Fi." I'm like, "What the hell?" And but yeah, I've never seen it, and they had some stuff in front of it, so I couldn't get really close. I was curious about that, but we are going to have to run Ethernet. So my desktop here is hardwired, and then the work my wife does will also require hardwiring. So yes, we will be adding some Ethernet ports in our home, as
Nice.
everybody should.
You gonna like get a server rack in one of the closets and run like a home server setup?
No, man, I don't need that. I have DigitalOcean, man. I don't need. I got my Pi for anything I want to run local, but I got DigitalOcean. I'm good.
I don't know. I've seen some really cool home server setups.
I don't need the electric bill, man. I really don't. I need to get. That's one thing I do need to do in the house. So that's one modification I am going to make. I need to put solar on the house. They do not have solar, but no, I'm out of that. Like that used to appeal to me. Like I used to have a straight up rack in my house, a full rack.
You
And
still got a pretty good rack.
thank you, baby. I appreciate that. But no, I don't know. It's just now it's
Without
so
missing
easy
a
to
beat.
spin up servers in DigitalOcean. It's so cheap. I mean, when I say so cheap, it's like what I would spend on the equipment to run it locally. I can have a server in DigitalOcean easily. So I don't know. I can't. There was a time in my life that I used to do that. I used to brick machines so quickly. Oh gosh.
Well, I like these little. You mentioned Raspberry Pi. I like these little TVs that people have started making. Have you seen these things?
No, what are they?
No.
It's these little like 3D printed televisions that have a Raspberry Pi and a screen and every episode of some specific show.
Really?
And yeah, so it's like, it's like a 2-inch by 2-inch box, but it's got every episode of The Simpsons on it, and it just plays on loop a random episode. And so
That'd be kinda cool.
someone made a Brady Bunch one, a Simpsons one. There was another one, a Futurama one. And it's just these like, I mean, parts wise, it's got to be under $40. And it's hilarious.
I have so many things I want to do with my Raspberry Pis. If I just had a good source of information on that.
A good source of information on Raspberry Pis. Yeah.
I'm not good at this, John.
I really like
You're
these
really
little
bad.
I like these little Raspberry Pi projects. Did you ever get your keyboard?
Oh, it's sitting in my house. I should have given it to you today.
No, the Raspberry
the
Pi, the all-in-one
the-
keyboard computer.
The Pi
Oh.
4, it's in my garage. I keep forgetting to give it to you. If only I ran into you more often.
I
So you're
I
not-
took
not
John.
really using it much.
I showed John my shame and took him to the Diego Dev storage unit. He was like, "Jesus, man, you need help."
That's a lot of elephants.
No,
Speaking
you
of
thought
which,
we had a lot of elephants. We have a
John,
lot of
you've got
elephants
some
down.
you've got some big elephants behind you.
I
Talk
do.
about your elephant in the room. Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
what's the story there?
He quickly claimed the big Archie. I feel
That's
bad.
what
I feel
happens.
sad.
It's what happens when things get sent to my house and you're moving out and you don't have space for it. We have shared custody of our friend Archie here, and then the purple elephant. I don't know the purple elephant's name, but we have a couple of those.
It's nickname Sarah Goldman has. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Watch PHP Roundtable 2 episodes back where Sarah Goldman's on it with myself and Sammy K. That elephant is actually named after Sarah. No. Oh, no, that's the PHP woman one, right?
Yeah.
No. PHP Roundtable elephant was named after Sarah Goldman. So I don't know the name of the PHP woman elephant.
Tune in next week and we'll have that information for you.
You think you're gonna hold you to
Yeah.
that one?
It'll be in the next issue of PHP Architect. The introduction
a
to all
whole-
of the
Whole
elephants.
article, a whole community corner on it.
Yes, the many elephants of PHP.
Oh man, you laugh, but yeah, watch.
We're running dry fast.
No, that's the one thing we're not. I'm actually very pleased to say we have a pretty thick pipeline right now. We need to keep reaching out to people, but we've got some articles stacking up. I was really happy to see that, and we haven't even started tapping some other sources yet.
So, Umoja. Oh, Oscar just put it in Discord as well. But yeah, if you go to the PHP Architect website, you will find out it's Umoja.
Umoja.
What is the
Yeah,
PHP
Sarah
Architect
Goldman.
website?
Did I say Goldman?
PHPArch.com.
PHP Arch. Subscribe today or tomorrow. You can subscribe tomorrow. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Just subscribe.
Or if it's too much, just join us on Patreon. Then we'll tell you everything about PHP Architect without having to actually get a copy.
Hey,
What is wrong with
no, we
you?
won't.
What is wrong with you?
That's not how it works.
No? Okay. I'm misunderstanding on my side.
Oh man.
Was that a plug for our Patreon? Is that what you're trying to get at?
I don't know.
I know. I was waiting for the slide to come up, but I never.
Our
never
Patreon.
showed.
Do we have any new patrons?
I want to say yes, but I would be lying. So the good news is we don't have any less Patreons.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Patreons. Yeah. That's always good. So yes. What else, Thomas? Thomas, you seem very distracted.
No, I was thinking about my tools. Because I've started getting more and more tools for PHP. Like PHP Stand, which is going 1.0 on...
Wait, PHP Stand wasn't 1.0 yet?
No.
That thing's been around for a while.
Yeah. So on November 1st, it goes 1.0. But like,
Okay.
I have so many tools like PHP CS and PHP MD and PHP Unit. I've got Table Plus for my database stuff, and I've got a Docker desktop, VS Code, Postman, Discord. I've got a VPN client. Like, I'm just getting overwhelmed by the amount of tooling I have all over the place.
But most of those tools sound like they should be in the background, not something you have to concern yourself with on a daily basis.
Well, Postman, VS Code, Slack, I interact with those on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Table Plus I interact with pretty regularly. Zoom, I have meetings every day. Terminal. I just, when you get really into woodworking or something, you build that wall full of your tools and you have organization as like part of the hobby. And I want that to be part of, I want that ability, the pegboard.
I mean, to be fair, it's a matter of what you're willing to compromise, right? Like VS Code and PHP Storm, I'm pretty sure VS Code does it as well. I mean, they could easily replace your need for Postman and Table Plus, but you get a limited feature set. Well, my point being, you get a limited feature set. So you have so many tools because you're a specialist, right? And you're working on a level that, where when you're working with a database, you want a database tool, but you don't have to have them. You can take down the Patreon slide now, though. I think everybody's gotten enough of that already. There we go. Good job.
Well, someone on Reddit released a new tool. Deck. Have you guys seen? Did you guys see this at all?
I have not.
I
What are you talking about?
I did see this, and what was it about that? You got a link for this one? There we go. Yes.
So the thing about it is that it's OS X and Windows only right now. There is not a Linux release.
I actually installed this on my Windows VM. I thought it was interesting because I was like, okay, what's this doing? And then I didn't take it very far. So if you've done more, let me know. But it sounds like it's just a front end to manage your Docker files. I'm like, I don't need that. I already know how to manage my Docker files. So I didn't really worry about it. But I think that's all it is.
Well, yeah,
I don't.
Sounds like Mack's Docker for Mac. What do they even call it?
Docker Desktop.
Desktop?
Right. Yeah. You're right. I think it's kind of the same thing. Yeah. I mean, I think this does it on more of a project level. Like you can say, okay, I'm spinning up a new project, and then I want the LAMP stack, or it's a Laravel project, or I want Nginx, and it has like all these predefined stacks to it. And
so is that helping you build your Docker Compose?
I guess so. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't take it. Once I saw that it was Docker, I'm like, all right, well, I already got my Docker environment figured out, and I kind of stopped looking at it because A, I don't develop on Windows, and B, I don't develop on Windows.
What about C?
Well, I saw this and I was like, it's cool that it's nice that it does this stuff. But that just replaces an existing app that I have, which is Docker Desktop. Like, what I want is like,
don't you have to pay for that now?
Bunch of stuff. No, you have to pay to snooze updates.
Oh.
Or no, to skip updates.
Somebody's actually talking about that in Discord.
Wait,
right now.
You have to pay to skip updates?
Yeah, you can snooze an update, but to skip it so you don't get notifications all the time, you have to pay. It's real dumb.
Why are you not updating?
It's just because I'm working when that thing pops up and I want it to go away. And like, do I need to update Docker Desktop every couple days? Is what they're fixing that fundamental?
It really is about every couple of days. So.
Yeah, it's like maybe every week. Like, which that's cool, but I don't need the update that fixes something for Windows versions.
Eric,
have you considered running it? What?
You said it is every couple of days. Where are you seeing this pop up at?
It was every couple of days back when I ran it on my Mac. I mean, it was always updating. Yeah. Have you ever considered running everything in your browser? Have you ever seen how many tabs John has open? It's horrifying.
I
It
haven't.
is absolutely horror. Oh my god! I'm not even exaggerating. I don't even know how you can tell what a tab is. There's just all these little slits at the top of the screen.
I get to the point where you can't see the last tabs. It's like
It's just
bad.
there's dot dot dot.
It's bad. It's so bad.
But I mean, you can run Postman in the browser. You can run. I mean, you can run VS Code in your browser. You know, I mean, just put everything in your browser if you want it all in one place. I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish with that though.
I don't know. I just feel like as good as Visual Studio does at unifying the interface for everything, I want better management of all of my desktop stuff on my Mac, and I don't really know how to go about it. I know that there are people that run like desktop organization stuff, like special tools for having multiple desktops and switching back and forth between like what they're working on. But man, sometimes like when I get when I'm on a Zoom call, like switching over to the browser instance that I was looking at something on and then finding Zoom again and switching back to it is like digging through a pile of open windows.
So that's my biggest one is my communication apps. I have people I talk to regularly on Discord, on Slack, on Telegram, on Signal, on Google Hangouts. I mean, I've got so many avenues of communication, and that's like what you're talking about. Like, I hear a notification, and I've got to do the scan to say, okay, which one of you bastards notified me, because I've got 6 communication apps open. Yeah, I get that. Let's go to desktop though, man.
Well, and like right now I have a stack of windows that's probably 20 deep.
Yeah.
It's like if I need to find a specific one, and the way that OS X does app switching is it groups the apps together. So like if you have 2 Chrome windows, it'll only tab switch to the most recent one.
Well, you can do the Alt tab too, though. It'll tab between them.
No.
So if you,
yeah.
So
your Apple tab switches applications, and then Alt or Control, one of those tab goes within that specific application.
We'll switch between windows in that app.
Yep.
It's a symphony of fingers. This is why them developers are so good at their job, because they're used to this clicking on the keyboard to find things. Just saying.
We're not talking about Vim.
We will be.
Now I gotta go find Toby. Chrome Toby.
What's Chrome Toby? Wait, I'm not in Discord.
A tab manager.
A tab manager. No. If you were in Discord, you would know all about this.
I'm telling you, John, you need that Vim plugin, and you do Shift T, and you can go jump to whatever tab you want. Don't go installing something else.
But I have like 5 of the same tabs.
What?
I'll have
it'll list them all out.
I'll have my dev environment.
I don't understand how you guys don't use the Vim plugin. It's so awesome for web browsing. See, I told you we were gonna get to Vim. You can do Shift T and start typing in like the title of a tab, and it'll show you, or you can just start scrolling through your tab. You can do Shift B to find bookmarks, or you can do Shift O to do like a search of everything.
What if you want to make a capital B?
What do you mean? Why would you make a capital B? It doesn't trigger when it's in a text area. Like if you're filling out a form or something, it doesn't trigger. I'm telling you, man, it's awesome.
We'll see.
Is it called surfing keys?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, surfing keys. No, Vim or Vim what?
Vim. Was it Vimium or something? I think it's what it's called. Vimium.
That did not come up. Oh, Vimium. I see.
Yeah, Vimium is probably the one you want. Yeah, Vimium. Yep. The only thing I would say is you want to ignore. You need to add well, I don't know. If you don't use the keyboard for it, it won't matter. I use keyboard shortcuts on Gmail because they have a lot of Vim binding-ish sort of keyboard shortcuts. So I had to
those.
So it's
Yeah, I had to
really
tell
cool. You
Vimium-
just have to spend a couple days configuring it.
I had to tell Vimium to ignore Gmail, so mail.google.com. Ignore that domain, so it doesn't load for that domain. There's a couple others I haven't ignored, but for the most part, you do searches the same. I mean, I know you have Control F. I always forget about Control F. I just do a backslash, start typing a search. You can scroll.
/ right?
Yes, / Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Pet peeve of mine.
You can even scroll through your tabs. Shift JK will scroll through your tabs. Shift H and L will go forward and backwards, like you're going forward. You're in your tab browser, like forward. You have to go back a page. You do GE and it edits the URL. So you do. If you hit YY, it copies the URL for you. Whatever page you're on, you hit YY, it copies. How often do you have to stop what you're doing, reach for your mouse, go up to your address bar, highlight everything, Control C? Nope, you just hit YY and it copies.
Yeah, how do you remember all this garbage?
Are we still broadcasting?
Are we still streaming Discord? Oh, he's back.
Yes.
No idea what happened. How do you remember all this?
Well, that's the whole thing about
You
it.
start slow.
This is what I keep preaching. Once you learn the basic Vim bindings and what they do, they translate to so many things. I mean, like Google, so many sites have the JK Vim binding that people don't even know about. But if you naturally hit your J button to go down, and your K button to go up, there's so many sites that have that already by default. And if you just learn your default Vim bindings, a whole new world opens up for you. I promise.
Like the Y is yank. So you're yanking or copying something. Cats are always messing up your network.
They really are. I need to fix the wiring on all this. I'm still hoping to get an office back in my house someday.
Yeah. I'm gonna have my own office again.
You got
My
a few
kids
years for that.
Making fun of the fact that my cat has decided it's time to go to bed. He does this to me every now and then in the most inappropriate times. This is why you want to join us on YouTube, because you get to see all this live in action. Not only is he laying down on my chest, he's buried his face so that this is him telling me, you need to stop talking. I'm trying to sleep.
You realize you can just put that thing like anywhere and you don't have to hold it the entire time?
Oh no,
Complete
I've seen it.
catastrophe.
It follows him.
Yeah. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Is this true? Can you get Vim hands?
Them hands?
We have strong hands.
Oh,
I don't know what Charlton's talking about. We get more muscle workout in our hands.
I disagree. You do not get muscle pains earlier. No way. If anything, I disagree with that.
I've started going really crazy with PHP 8 features.
Yeah, like what the little constructor one? That's my favorite one.
Yeah, property promotion.
Property promotion. Yeah.
Matches.
Match instead of
switch.
Yield. Switch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't used that yet. I always forget about that one. Let me use that.
I'm using that now. I'm using null safe operaters.
Yeah, we talked about that.
You were
last
talking
week.
about that. Yeah.
Digging that. Boy, what was the other one I used the other day? I just implemented something new. Yeah, my code is not backwards compatible anymore. Like there's no way we're running on anything 7.
See,
You could.
At first
All you need to do is use
first-
Rector.
At first, you complain about Taylor's methods, and then you adopt Taylor's methods. Look at you. Look at
Union
you.
types.
That's one thing I'm looking forward to. We're close to upgrading. I just don't know when that's going to be. Too many composer packages that are tied to 7. I'm not quite ready for 8 yet.
John brought up Rector. Have we talked about Rector on the show before?
I don't
Damn
think
near
so.
killed her.
There goes.
No?
There goes 3 listeners right there. This is actually very cool and something I did not know about. We interviewed the maintainer of Rector on the PHP Architect podcast last month. And
Is it Vinicius
go ahead. What is it? Vinicius what?
Capitelli?
Capitelli, yeah. Wait a minute, that's this month, isn't it? Did I just do a spoiler? Did I leak information?
Yeah, has that not been released yet? That's been released, hasn't
I thought Vinicius Capitelli was a feature, or is he doing a second part? No, I think he's doing the second part of last month. Vinicius Capitelli. That was
what
a
is
great
this
interview.
thing?
Thank you.
So
Dude,
it's
awesome is what it is. It's layers of awesome.
It's code that'll allow you to upgrade and or downgrade your PHP code.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds weird when you say it like that, but there's actually a lot of great use cases for downgrading your PHP. And this also adopts framework specific stuff. So it's compatible with Symfony, it's compatible with Cake PHP, it's compatible with Laravel, and you just run Rector on it, and it will either move it forward or move it back.
Or multiple steps. So if you did it as part of your CI, you write a library and you want to code in PHP 8.1, but you want to release versions that will work on 8, 7.4, 7.3, you can have your CI automatically downgrade your code, but it still works.
Huh.
Yeah, it's very
fascinating.
slick. I haven't used it yet, but definitely on my to-do list to give it a run it through its paces.
Yeah, it sounds funny. His article in PHP Architect explains good reasons why, especially for things like WordPress, which tries to be as backward compatible as possible. But when you're developing, you want to develop using the latest standards.
Yeah, I guess
So if I
that's
can
part
write
of
a
the
plugin-
WordPress developers workflow is they it through Rector with older versions of PHP. You okay there, Tom?
My cat is actively sabotaging the show now.
My cat's just sleeping, just snuggling. He's
It's-
so perfect.
The temperature here went from 80 degrees to 45 degrees in a matter of 1 week. And so now the cats are like getting into their sleeping on everything that's warm behaviors, which is just all of the things under my desk that have very loose plugs that run the show.
Could just put a new end on it so it can't be pulled
Yeah,
out.
yeah, good.
Oh my God,
I don't have this
John,
time.
Oscar to the rescue! Oscar, this is why we're not the right people for the job. We're talking about the wrong.
Oh
developer.
yeah, Thomas. Sorry, Thomas.
Yeah, I knew like the one you were saying. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's this month. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Oscar. You should do this for a living, I think. Thomas, what was his last name?
Vortuba. Or Vortruba.
Vortuba. Yes.
Yeah, we're terrible at this. I am specifically.
So So horrible. Yeah.
Really, it really is a
But subscribe
opportunity to-
because it's gonna be good.
an opportunity to have one of your kids run the PR and HR for the company. Yeah, I apologize for my dad again. He can't remember names.
No, I actually can't. I'm horrible at names. I am really bad at names. So
And I'm
I
not
like
any
this
better.
RectorPHP thing.
it's pretty slick. I'm telling you, it's super slick. Well, I keep saying it. I haven't used it. So, but from everything I'm hearing after talking to the maintainer, it sounds pretty slick.
Oh boy.
All right. Are we nearing the end? We're all slowing down.
I think we are. See the new stuff in Laravel this week? 8.64.
Nope.
What's new?
The aware blade directive, where you can
Aware?
make things. The aware blade directive.
Mhm.
You can make things available to child components from the parent component. Looks helpful.
Interesting.
Looks helpful. The HTTP client got a throw if. So right now the HTTP client, if you end any request with throw, then it will throw an exception when one is encountered by guzzle.
Mm-hmm.
This adds the throw if, which allows you to say, hey, this is a production app, or this is an allowed failure. So don't throw an exception here. Has any in collections. So it's like in array, but you can pass multiple. Well, it's just in array. Yeah.
But
It sounds so much cooler before.
Yeah. Too much stuff all every week.
But that's good. It's growing.
But
Would you rather
but
just
John, how
keep-
would you keep up with all this information? I mean, that's the real question.
Well, if you didn't do it slowly, you would read a magazine about it.
If there was some sort of continuing education, oh yes, like a magazine. A magazine would work. But would the
I would only
magazine be
subscribe
digital
to a
or
magazine.
physical?
I would only subscribe to a magazine if they had a virtual library I could get tons and tons of books in.
Well, you
Is
are
that-
in luck.
Is that not the case?
You get all the back issues. You subscribe. A lot of people might not know that. If you subscribe to PHP Architect, I mean, you're always at least getting the digital version. Of course, you can get the digital and physical version. But not only are you getting the current editions, but you get access to all the archives. So all the back issues.
At
you
least
have
for
access
now.
to.
That might change.
It might change. You never
Yes.
know. New owners are kind of assholes, so always looking for money. So you might want to take advantage of it now while you still can. Not saying not saying it's going to change. Just just saying things happen.
I don't know if you
Look at
guys.
this cat. Look at his teeth. He's just biting me at this point.
Yeah.
He's wanting me to stop talking. Like he's about to attack the mic. Look at him. Ah! This is why we watch YouTube. Look, you can't stop this. This is bigger than you are. I promise. He's very upset with me now.
The newest issue of PHP Annotated is out from JetBrains, and they've
Were
just
we
dropped.
mentioned?
They've just dropped the premise of covering podcasts altogether.
Oh dear. Like there's just nothing worth talking about anymore. Just, these guys are idiots. Sorry. We'll
There
stop
is some
talking
interesting
about them on the
stuff.
show. I guess we won't stop.
They talked about Magento, which is being
Mhm.
forked because Adobe is planning on decomposing it into microservices, and so the community is going to be maintaining the sort of monolithic version of it, I guess. If you use Magento, I'm sorry. PHP 8.1 RC4 is out. You would know that if you were the release manager.
Ouch.
I'm sorry, iGlazer. What did
You're
you say
so-
about Magento? Were you talking about the microservice thing?
Yeah, Adobe owns Magento.
That was announced last year, and there was a whole PHP Architect article on it in the March 2020 issue. We were actually just talking about this recently.
So they're in response to that, Magento is being forked as the monolithic version. I too hope they rename it to Magneto. PHP-FIG, which still exists, the framework interoperability group, has announced the PER workflow. So previously they had those PSR standards that everyone uses now. Well, now they're introducing a new type of standard, a PER standard, which is a perpetually changing and supplemented standard. PHP evolving recommendations.
Interesting.
Really?
I'm glad they're sticking with this. You have a link to that I can put in show notes?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Because I think that honestly, again, something that came out of PHP Tech, the FIG group, they were formed out of PHP Tech. I'm just going to put that out there. Thank you again, PHP Architect, for that. But the work that they've done, I think, had really laid the groundwork to keep PHP moving forward. I really do. I feel like they've done a lot of great work. You can disagree with me, Tom. It's fine.
The PSRs have become so important in my day-to-day work. Just
Yeah.
But the PER sounds interesting.
So the PER is basically to address stuff like the coding standard, where previously the coding standard was what, PSR2, and then because you couldn't update a standard, they deprecated it and created PSR4.
I forget. I don't remember the PSR numbers that well.
So it's because they had
that was the auto loading ones are what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
There was PSR0, which was the original. But yeah, so what you're saying is this is instead of changing from PSR to PSR, you have one reference, and this is the new.
Right. And they've got a whole system for how that implements and stuff like that. It's a big 2-page.
I don't know. I kind of like we're no longer following PSR 0. Now we're following PSR 4.
I don't know.
There's like a delineation of the difference between the two.
I don't know.
Well, now I have to go read about PERs because I have not heard about them.
There was also a big hubbub about disable functions in PHP. Did you guys see this at all?
No, what's disabled functions?
So disable functions is an INI directive that says these functions cannot be called by a script.
Really?
So you can block stuff like exec and shell exec and proc open, or fread or whatever. And this person wrote an example exploit and documentation on how you can get around this functionality. How if you have blocked calls to stuff like system or exec, then you can trick PHP to using them anyways. And conceptually, it sounds really bad. He complains that he's been pointing this out for a long, long time, and he's always been ignored. And it's still in PHP 8, and it's in every release, and he can prove it, and you can just download his code and prove it. And the official PHP response appears to be, "Shut up! That's not what this does."
What? I'm gonna need some documentation on that.
So this is in the PHP annotated. But basically they said, listen, that's disable functions is not intended for security, and you shouldn't rely on it for security purposes. We have a whole wiki page about what security means in PHP and how we implement safe interaction with things. So this guy who keeps emailing us and won't leave us alone is just pointing out something that we all know, because it's a core function of how PHP works, not a security issue.
I could definitely see that. Yeah. Yeah. I hear that that's one of the bigger challenges with internals is that people kind of will get hung up on a topic and they'll just keep talking about it. And no response is a good enough sort of response. And yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's an interesting read. There's a link to a full explanation of how disable functions works internally and why it's not considered a security-based functionality because it can't access the thing that restricts the behaviors. It can only obfuscate it because it itself can't break security rules. So you can, of course, get around it by doing all sorts of little dances.
Mm-hmm.
But then the question is, like, well, then why does that INI directive exist if it's not safe to use it for security? I don't know what...
that's a good question.
I don't know what the point of it would be if it's not actually going to stop anyone from doing the thing that it says it stops.
Well, I don't know. I have to read the article to know for sure, but it stops the function call itself, like to the original function. It's just saying you can now redefine it, at least from what I'm reading.
Yeah, the exploit is written like all exploits are, which is in somebody who writes C tried to write PHP. But it looks like you can make a stream to a... I don't know. I can't read this garbage.
Charlton in Discord says it's designed to help people pull away from deprecated functions early. Makes
That's
sense.
nice. Yeah, it'd be nice if PHP had some sort of built-in tombstoning to also help with that. But
that's kind of what it sounds like that is.
Well, it's not tombstoning. That's breaking your application.
yeah.
Tombstoning is safer.
Roadrunner got updated. Big new update.
What's Roadrunner?
Meet. What?
Roadrunner is one of the caching.
Oh, that's
solutions.
like the yeah. What's the other one called?
It's application server, load balancer, and process manager.
Yeah.
Swoole, similar to Swoole.
Yeah, Octane runs on both those. Roadrunner's like Go based, right?
Roadrunner is Go.
Yeah, I believe Roadrunner's Go based. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
I don't know. It's not important.
But yeah, support for queues, key value stores, and integration with something called Temporal. You guys, Temporal Workflow Server SDK.
Don't know. Don't know, man.
Yeah, cool stuff. And then Symfony is starting their process of typing the entire code base for 6.0 release in November.
Interesting. Type hinting, you mean?
Type declarations to all method properties, arguments, and return values where possible.
That's what Taylor was talking about doing as well to the next release of Laravel or Laravel 9, I think. Yeah.
Well, but this has been in the pipes for Symfony for a long time, and it was a big discussion with Fabian, the creator of Symfony, when 8.0 was released, because he said, well, the next version of Symfony is going to require 8. Should we do the type hinting on everything by default now? And that was a very lengthy conversation, not a 24-hour poll. Just saying. I mean, whatever.
All right, I think that's it. I think we've rambled long enough. This should we're at 1 hour and 15 minutes, and once I truncate all the science, it should be down to about 36 minutes. I feel like so.
Just the intros and the outros.
That's pretty much that's just the good parts of the show. All right, that's it. Episode, what are we at? 258. Look, I'm finishing the show. Now you're gonna leave me. Now you're gonna leave me. See, cats, man. I tell you, evil animals. Episode 258 in the books. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey.
Woo! He was about to give a shout out, you dick. People like it when I call you dick, by the way.
Yeah, why didn't you tell me about this Vimium earlier?
Vimium?
I am positive I've told you about this about 100 times.
I don't think he's mentioned Vim on the podcast before.
Yeah, this is nice.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. You've seen me using it for years.
Well, I use Vim bindings for Reddit.
There you go. That's how you start. And John, you want to know one of my favorite? So you can actually create shortcuts in Vimium, and I actually have one for Google to only search for results from the past year. So it has a filter of that 1 year in Google.
I use that all the time, but
I hit Shift O to open up that little dialog box, and I hit GS space, and then it says, it just searches Google, but for the last year. I'll send that over to you. I love Vimium. You guys think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you.
That has nothing to do with Vimium.
It changed.
Vim is the past, and Vim is the future. That's how Vim works.
It changes your default homepage. Not homepage, but your default blank new tab page.
That's your homepage.
Really? Mine didn't do it.
Yeah.
What's it change it to?
It's showing me like collections and open
What?
tabs. So now you
I kind of want that.
Hmm.
I don't know what that is. I wonder if that's a setting I can.
Oh, no, never mind. That's Toby. That wasn't Vim.
Oh.
I installed two things at once, and now I'm all confused.
Ah, boy.
Now I got to figure out Toby, Charlton. Thanks. Learning two things at once in the same night after drinking. This can't be good.
So here, you want this to be a what is this? A custom search engine. Putting in Discord for everybody to share. You put that in your custom search engine. Boom, baby. Boom.
I heard an ad for DuckDuckGo on NPR the other day.
Yep, I've seen commercials for it on Hulu. I don't know if that's a station, but like Hulu shows, every now and then a DuckDuckGo commercial will pop up.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm really curious how they make money. I honestly I don't know, but
Well, it's just advertising. It's just not targeted advertising.
this is how long, Tom, you'll appreciate this. This is how long I've been using Vimium. My first exclude URL in Vimium was dig.com because dig.com already had Vim bindings. Is dig.com still a thing?
Vimium for
I'm sure it
Chrome.
is.
Is there a
Vimium.
game I can use to like learn how to use this?
There's a game you can learn how to use Vim. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but
Vim Adventures.
that sounds right.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Oh God, how do I quit this?
Ha ha ha! We got you now.
All right, fine. I'll try Vim.
Just like John said, take it slow, man. Just learn JKHL. Just do that for a while.
I know those.
Okay, then move on to insert and normal mode.
I know those.
Well, then why aren't you using it? That alone is like 90%.
I use Vim when I'm doing console editing. Like when I need to change something real quick.
Okay, well, all you got to do is do the same bindings in your browser now. Install Vimium and just start using those bindings and learn Shift O, Shift T, and Shift B, and just do that, and you'll be happy. Then you can get into the yank and all the other ones. Like I said, if you hit I think it's GE, John, you can edit the URL, which is always kind of cool. Yeah, GE is what it is. There's also a binding to jump to the root of the URL, but I don't really ever use that. So I use GE a lot when I'm in GitHub and I need to like jump from one repo to another. Although I've taken, so this is something I do now. I start bookmarking things that normally I wouldn't bookmark. So like each organization I'm in GitHub, I bookmark now. So then I can just do Shift B and type in GitHub PHP Architect. And you don't have to type it in URL format. It's smart enough to say, okay, GitHub PHP Arch, here's your Git repo link.
All right. I'm trying.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Shift B.
So you,
For a bookmark. Yeah.
Shift O is like, I think a Shift O is like an everything search. It searches bookmarks, tabs, does a Google search if it doesn't find anything, or whatever your default search engine is. You can set it to DuckDuckGo or whatever. But Shift B and Shift T are just quicker. It limits the scope of the search. Maybe I need to write a article about this. John.
Just point them towards the podcast. Slow week.
I mentioned it a while back. Did you ever give the? Oh yeah, Darling Data. I did, and I honestly stopped using it because so much of it is what I already do in Vimium. So I did play with that for a little while. Matter of fact, I think it's still installed on my system. I did play with it for a little while, but yeah, it is still installed in my system. I still have it here. Yeah, it was cool, but like I said, I'd rather have a kind of mainstream popular browser for compatibility reasons. So I just stuck with Vimium and Chrome. I actually have it in Chrome, Edge, and Firefox. That's the first plugin I always install. Lots of chatter. Man, I love our Discord.
So
I love Discord.
I know some people absolutely hate piracy and hate whenever I talk about it, but I got a Nintendo Switch emulator working on my gaming PC, and it is flawless.
Cool.
It is very
So
impressive.
what do? You just grab images or game images?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't work, but like Metroid Dread and Super Mario
How do you go from
Odyssey-
flawless to there's a lot of things that don't work?
So all of the big good games work. A lot of the little crappy games don't work. But the game that I'm playing, Metroid Dread, which is really fun, works flawlessly. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, I am
Speaking
crashing.
of which, I'm going to play some Metroid
Right.
Dread.
You made Metro Dread. I'm gonna edit this podcast, get it out. I actually have to do some editing this time. I forget what happened at 4 minutes that I have an edit mark. Why do I have an edit mark at 4 minutes?
I said something. I said something about Tom's work.
Oh right. Oh yeah. I'll get. That
Sorry
taken
about
care of.
that.
That's okay.
Hey, thanks for watching us on the stream. Hey, kids, thanks for the Sonic hookup. I do appreciate the Sonic hookup. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm not sure if you
Sonic,
noticed.
not a sponsor of the show.
I'm not sure if you noticed. They also subscribed to Patreon.
They better not have.
Yes.
I'm removing their allowance. I'm gonna have to add them to the scroll every week. Do they
Yep.
really?
Yeah, really. It showed up on the OBS.
Oh jeez. What is wrong with those kids?
All right, killing the stream. Thank you, everybody.